Data analytics, business analytics, marketing analysis. What do all these mean, and why is everyone jumping on it? I mean, what does it do? And why does it seem like everyone just seems to use the word analysis? Well, say no more. This video is here to help you better understand what data analytics is, whether you're a beginner or you already have an idea. Tech. This video is going to help you explain what data analytics means, what it is not, and how businesses are making use of it to make billions and millions without trial or error. What is data? You know, a lot of people hear data and they think it's something big, maybe for tech pros or on fancy offices. But data is not far. It is around you every day. Let me explain. Imagine you go from K2 to Bega every day for work, and from Monday to Friday you track your transport fare, maybe 800 naira on most days or 700 naira on Thursday. Then on Sunday you pay 500 naira. All these prices that I just mentioned, you had written it down in the book where you keep track. That is data. The color of the buses, how many people go to the psych ward in a health center, or how many people get debit alerts in a week. That's all data. Now, where does analysis come in? The moment you say, looks like on Sunday, bus fares are cheaper, or I spend more during rush hour on Mondays, and you start making sense of those numbers, that is analysis. It's just about observing, understanding, and using information to make better decisions. So no, data analytics is not far. In fact, you've probably been doing it just without the tools. Data analytics is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover useful information, to draw conclusions, and support decision making. You're probably wondering, this is so simple, but what makes it different from what you do every day? The process and the software used. Now, after writing the transport fare for 5 weeks, there are most likely some days that you forgot to write it out, or you made an error imputing the wrong date format, or even the wrong spelling of the days of the week. This would require cleaning of the data because to make error-free analysis, error has to be resolved. Now, while it is being done, you can need to keep track of the changes you made to the data and include them in your report. All of this I just explained is the data cleaning process in data analysis. Okay, now here is where the fun begins, organizing the data. You see, all week I've been jotting down my transport fare from K2 to Bega, but everything is just started. Monday's fare is up, Thursday is somewhere beside, and Sunday is mixed up in between. So now I need to organize it. So I start by arranging everything so all the Mondays follow each other, all the Tuesdays come next, and so on. Why? Because when I group them like that, I can now start seeing patterns clearly, like, oh, Mondays are always more expensive, or Sundays seem cheaper. Basically, I'm putting in the right order so that when I look at it, I can start to make sense of it. And that is organizing data. This brings me to the analysis. I could start finding the average amount of transport fare I spend on each day of the week. This would help me understand the fares and what they are saying for each day. Now, from this average, what can we see? Looking at this data, the table of averages, why do we think that the fares have hiked on Monday, or they are the lowest on Sunday, followed by Thursday? On Monday, everyone seems to have to leave their house for work, so there are many passengers, fewer buses. So the transport workers take advantage of this to increase the prices, or sometimes more people on the road could cause traffic. However, the opposite is for Sunday. Fewer people leave their houses so early on Sunday, and even the road seems empty. So the transport workers are willing to reduce prices to encourage passengers to get on board with them. On Thursday morning in Lagos, work starts slower for businesses, traders, and even shop owners because it is a sanitation day. Businesses are not allowed to open till 10 a.m., so they don't leave their houses till 9 a.m. This means that up until 9 a.m., the traffic is lighter. Now we've been able to make meaning of these numbers. So what to do? Give recommendation. Based on the stakeholder, we could recommend that the budget be higher for Mondays since the fares are more, and we could save money on Thursdays by leaving before 9 a.m. or when needed, take advantage of going out on Sundays. That is, if our stakeholders are passengers. Now, if our stakeholder is a bus driver who benefits from the price hikes, our recommendation will be different. We could recommend that they start rendering their services earlier on Mondays so that they can benefit from the price hike so as to make as many trips as possible on that day. The main goal of the data analytics process is to extract meaningful insights and draw the right conclusions and help businesses make decisions, improve efficiencies, and solve problems. Why is data analytics important? Data analytics is not just a bunch of grammar, it's how smart businesses and even government people make serious money and smarter decisions. Data analytics saves money and makes money. Let me explain what this means. Look at Opay or Sterling Bank. They don't just guess what their customers want, they track when people spend the most, what they spend the most, and even their means of payment. From there, they remove the stress, improve the mobile apps, and even detect frauds before it happens. That is data analytics, saving millions and making more by ensuring smarter banking and fewer risks. Let's talk about Jumia or Konga. They don't just randomly set prices. They use data to know which products sell the most in Lagos versus Enugu, what time people shop more, what hours are working, and what products to stop wasting money on. And that's why you see that prices go up and down quickly. It is data at work. They've used it to make billions in sales, and this is e-commerce that actually works. See, even healthcare, data saves lives. Hospitals are able to track what sicknesses shows up the most at certain times, like malaria spikes during the rainy season. That way, they're able to buy the right drugs, stock up early, and even tell the government what areas they need help. That's not just smart, that is life-saving. Let me shock you, even music platforms like Apple Music or Spotify use data to know which songs Nigerians vibe to at different times of the year. That's how they push playlists, give artists insights, and even help them blow. They don't just guess the next song to play, numbers help tell them the story. So even as an individual, once you can analyze data well, you become an asset, you become valuable to companies, to your own business, and to government organizations or even NGOs. Unlike popular misconception, one doesn't need a background in tech, nor do they need to be a guru in math to be a data analyst. Yes, applications for analyzing like Excel have inbuilt formulas that do all the calculations needed, and charts and graphics for visualization. With Google Forms, surveys could be conducted for the collation of data. Now let's talk about what data analytics is not. Data analytics is not just about using software. A lot of people hear data analytics and immediately think, oh, it's about learning Excel or Python or SQL. Yes, these are tools, but knowing them without knowing what to do with them is like owning a calculator but not knowing what to calculate. Data analytics is not just about the software, it's about sense, it's about understanding. 2. Data analytics is not just for tech bros. Forget the hype. Data analytics is not only for people who wear hoodies and work from cafes in Yaba. Whether you are working in banking, health, HR, marketing, or even agriculture, if you work with data, information, transactions, or people, then data analytics concerns you. You don't have to switch to tech to make data work for you. 3. Data analytics is not guesswork. Some people think data analytics is just vibes and assumptions with numbers, but no, data analytics is about precision. It is the difference between I think and I know. When you run a business and say, most of my customers come in the evening, that's a guess. When you pull up the record and say, some 5% of my customers came between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. last month, that is analytics. 4. Data analytics is not copy and paste. You can't just watch a YouTube video somewhere and copy someone's dashboard and call yourself a data analyst. Real data analytics requires understanding the context asking the right questions, and communicating clearly. It's not about making charts look beautiful, it's about making decisions that make sense. Finally, data analytics is not too hard for you. Let me get this clear. Data analytics is not beyond you. You already analyze things every day. Should I enter BRT or should I take a keke napep? Why is fuel price higher today? Which vendor gave me the cheapest offer last time? The only difference is that we'll teach you how to do it in a more structured way that companies will pay millions for. So let's have the whole take of this. In this video, we were able to define what data analytics is. We defined it as the process of cleaning, organizing, analyzing, interpreting, and drawing conclusions from data to help support decision making. We were also able to explain the steps involved, which includes the organizing of data, analysis of data, interpretation of data, and recommendations from data. Each and every one of these steps is important towards the overall analysis. We also touched on what data analytics is not, and now you know that data analytics is for you. So if you want to learn better from what data analytics can do for you, then you should watch out for the next video.